Hello there and welcome back to a brand new video and obviously a little bit of a brand new sort of setup that we have going on here. You hopefully be able to see me just a little bit clearer and hopefully maybe hear me just a little bit clearer as well. Hope you enjoy this setup anyway. It will change as time goes on, I'm pretty sure of that anyway, as I start to figure things out and such, but I'm really glad to be able to finally bring a little bit more, hopefully more quality to this channel, and hopefully we can start to grow a little bit more, and we can hopefully delve into a little bit of live streaming at some point in the future. I don't know when, but I'm hoping that we can do it. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching this video so far. Now we're going to get into some Liverpool news, just some Liverpool talk, just to get this video going before we hit, like, you know, tomorrow and we start doing the Man United previews and stuff, because we've got them twice now in a row. But I'm not really going to try and focus too much on that in this video for now. We're going to look at some other topics as well, and I'm going to try to do some scene switching in here as well, and hopefully it goes rather smoothly, and I think it did. It seemed to look like it did there anyway. So, anyway, we're going to look at this one here. Most of these articles will be coming from thisisanfield.com. So, I think it's .com. Yes, it is .com. And maybe a couple of others to look at as well. The first one that we need to look at here is Liverpool apparently held talks over the David Alaba deal, but the Reds are no longer interested. Now, David Alaba, I think, when it comes to the summer, is going to be a free agent from Bayern Munich. So far, they haven't been able to come to an agreement in terms of a contract for him to renew at Bayern Munich anyway. But I think that this is, and this isn't set in stone, but if this is Liverpool's stance about a player like David Alaba, who, for instance, if you don't know who David Alaba is, he's a very high quality defender, but he's extremely versatile as well. He can play, predominantly he's been known as a left back, played at centre back for the majority of last season, I think it was, or at least he definitely made appearances there whenever I watched him. Can play in midfield, can also play as a good central defensive midfielder. He's very versatile, he's a very good quality player as well, and being available, so let's just have a, in the summer I believe it is, so, playing for Bayern, he's a serial winner, he's got great technical ability, a lot of experience, and is massively versatile, including ability to play at centre-back, which is attractive for us right now, as it says right here. But apparently, Liverpool aren't interested. So let's have a look and see what Melissa Reddy is saying. So, we did apparently hold talks with Alaba's camp last year, which is quite something. I didn't hear about that one. Though this appears to have been more as part of an information gathering process rather than seeing him as a number one target. At the moment, I don't think Liverpool are in a position where they can really sort of pick and choose, and that sounds ridiculous, but we only have to look at our current season to see what we're like in terms of defenders and how we're struggling massively. Really, we're struggling with defenders, we're struggling to actually get them on the pitch, we're struggling to get our other ones fit. Obviously, they're long-term injuries for Gomez and Van Dijk, that can't really be helped, but we're struggling. We are threadbare when it comes to central defence, and we knew that coming into this season. We knew that in summer, that maybe this might be somewhere that we need to be addressing, but we weren't going to, because we have Van Dijk, because we have Gomez, and because we have Joel Matip as like the backup guy, the rotation guy, and maybe a couple of young guys come in for the cup runs. That has obviously been tipped on its head, and we've been having to use the younger guys so much more. Reece Williams, Nat Phillips, they've both been brilliant for us. Maybe a couple of shaky performances here or there, but very, very few and far between. They've been very good. Joel Matip is just, he's very injury prone. He's probably one of the most injury prone defenders that we have. I don't know. To rule out going for David Alaba, whether it was for this window or whether it's for just purely for the summer, I don't know. Hopefully this is something that maybe Liverpool reconsider, because bringing in someone of that sort of quality, the winning mentality that he's got, and as it says right here, he's a serial winner, great technical ability, he's massively versatile, and that ticks a lot of boxes for a Jurgen Klopp player, in my opinion anyway, from what we've seen here. So, or from what we've experienced anyway under Jurgen Klopp. So let me know what you think in the comments below about this one. Should Liverpool be considering someone like David Alaba? Whether he would be a starting centre-back or someone that can rotate in and maintain quality. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Going to move on to this other one, which talks about Liverpool's 43% loss rate after long breaks. This is a percentage I was not aware of this at all. So obviously it says here it gives Klopp issues to address. Now our next two games are against Manchester United, so we are talking about them a little bit there. So we've had about 9 days rest between the Aston Villa Cup game and the Manchester United game coming up on Sunday. So it's been an unprecedented amount of rest for us that we just haven't had this season. And normally you'd be thinking, great, that's fantastic. We can get a little bit of rest into the bodies of our players. Maybe, if they're doing a lot of 11v11 situations, like Klopp was saying, talking about some players not having rhythm within the team, and that's why we seem to be struggling a little bit of late. However, and this doesn't even come down to that percentage. We've seen this in the past, like when we've seen it, like sometimes in January, where say if we're out of a cup competition and we have like a full week, we don't always react the best. We don't always perform the best. It seems to be that even though it is a lot of pressure and a lot on the bodies of our players to play maybe 3 times a week or every 3 days or whatever it might be, it seems to be over a longer period of time, they seem to play better doing that instead of having these longer breaks in between games. So apparently a study has been conducted by a Reddit user. It's not a website that I use, so I haven't looked at it. And it highlighted some eye-opening figures between 2016-17 season and 2019-20 season. Namely, Liverpool have lost 42.9% of their games after a break of between 8 and 11 days. Oh, that's not good. Jeez, that is not good at all. I mean, again, if you take the stats in isolation, it doesn't necessarily mean what is coming that we're going to lose against Manchester United. It's going to be difficult games anyway, because if anyone saw the Burnley game at all or even saw highlights of it, they are in a position right now where they're not necessarily playing their best. They're finding ways to win. And that is what we were doing last season and what we've done the season before. We're struggling to recreate it this time. So it's just, it's a little bit of a strange one. A little bit of a worrying one when it comes to previewing this game as well, which we'll be doing in the next day or two. The main issue is that according to this data, we are effing awful between 8 and 11 days rest. The sample size is small, just 13 games, but barely a win in that period is not great. So it's something of a concern for Liverpool. Hopefully, the fact that we've been in poor form recently anyway gives the players a kick up the arse. And I imagine that they've been training and playing these 11v11 games that Klopp was talking about. Maybe it means that these guys will actually, as I said, they'll get a massive kick up the arse because of how we've been doing and not been doing well. Yet we were still top of the table. We're not now. We're now second because of United's win against Burnley. And we need to turn up in at least the Premier League game against Manchester United. The FA Cup, not so much, in my opinion. But if we could win both games, I'd be all over that. But the Premier League game is the one that has to take priority. That's just my opinion anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that. It is a little bit of a worrying stat, but I'm hoping that we can get over it anyway. Joel Matip is apparently running out of time to return to fitness before Man United. Liverpool face being without centre-back Joel Matip for the top of the table Premier League clash with Man United at Anfield on Sunday. We are without a senior centre-back and started the last match, the defeat to Southampton, with two midfielders at the heart of the back line. Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson was good against Southampton, but I'm hoping he will be going back into midfield. I want to see him back into midfield. It needs to be a last resort for Henderson to be used at centre-back, not because he wasn't good, but because we lose so much from midfield with him not being in it. And I'll go through lineup and stuff in the next video when I do a preview for Manchester United game. But we need, if Joel Matip's fit and he's 100% or as close to 100% as you can get, then yeah, he needs to be playing. He needs to be alongside Fabinho, and when we get Henderson into midfield, that'd be great. If not, however, it needs to be Nat Phillips or Reece Williams, and in my opinion, for a game like this, I would say it would need to be Nat Phillips. And we can keep Henderson in the midfield, because Henderson is going to be key in that midfield battle, with a midfield that would most likely have Fred, Pogba, maybe McTominay, Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, we haven't played against Bruno Fernandes since he's been at Manchester United, so it's going to be difficult enough of a game anyway. Taking Jordan Henderson out of midfield is not going to be the way to go, in my opinion anyway. I want to see him back into the midfield. That's my opinion, and it also makes sense that we start with centre backs. Natural centre backs, whether they're young or not, natural centre backs. That's just how I feel. Anyway, and then the last bit that we'll look at here is quotes from Fabinho saying Mohamed Salah is very happy at Liverpool amid normal links away. So Salah has been rumoured to be of interest to some of Europe's other big clubs, but Fabinho says there's absolutely no reason to panic. Big players will always have their names involved in rumours. Salah plays for Liverpool, one of the biggest teams in the world. You know it. So I think it's normal to see his name linked to other teams, especially from different leagues as well. Anyway, I see him very happy here and pleased with his performances this season. He's very demanding with himself. He wants to be the best. He wants to help the team and works hard for it. It's always been the case and it hasn't changed at all. He keeps scoring goals, which everyone is used to seeing. In the changing room, he's always talking to everyone and making jokes. I don't see anything affecting him. And honestly, it's great to hear something like that. And I'm not just echoing that because that's what the article says, but it is. It's fantastic to hear something like that because for too long, you hear of these sort of things and you see what our form is like in the Premier League and you see, is there a little bit of discontent between Salah and Mane, or is there just discontent from both of them individually away from each other? What is going on? Could they possibly move on or want to move on because maybe we're not the machine we were like last season and the season before, or whatever? For whatever reason, things are getting affected in different ways and teams are getting affected in different ways and at different times for this season, because it is a very, very congested season. Started very quickly after the last season ended. It's just a very difficult season, and it's going to be a difficult season for everybody. But when you see these rumours about your star players, your top scorers, your good defenders, good midfielders, whoever it might be, and when you see them getting linked, all you want is someone to come out, and whether it's the player themselves or someone that is around them, like Fabinho, and is around them all the time, you want to hear this. This is what you want to hear. In a time when we're not playing very well, we're not in very good form, we're just not being able to put it together on the pitch a great deal. Take away the Aston Villa against under-18s performance, which again I wasn't extremely impressed with it regardless. But you just want to see, this can just give you that little bit of a lift of like, all right, he does want to stay here, cool, whatever happens in the summer, whatever happens then, you can deal with it then. But you don't need these sorts of rumours happening in the middle of the season is pretty much what I'm getting at here anyway. So that's everything that I read today that I wanted to get through and just talk to you guys about anyway. I will be recording the preview for Manchester United tomorrow, which is Thursday. It will be a day early, but I really want to get into the nitty gritty about this game against Manchester United as well, and we're going to take some time on it as well. Especially now I've got the computer set up back up and now involved with everything. I can have a bit of a deeper look at everything, stats, whatever it might be. We can have a look at it all. So feel free to let me know what you think in the comments about all these things that we talked about in this video as well. And let me know if there's anything you want me to look at for the Manchester United preview, because it is a big game. It's a massive game. Huge game for us to tie back points with Manchester United. Now that we're tied on, we are tied on games played now. So now we need to go out there and beat them, and hopefully we can reclaim top spot, but we'll see what happens with that one anyway. For now, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get some food and hopefully try and relax a little bit this afternoon. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please do feel free to give it a like and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much once again. Do take care of yourselves and have a good day, and I'll catch you later.